So guys, I need to know, am I the a-hole for begging my daughter to stop having children? I'm a 58-year-old female. My husband, Rob, we have 2 kids, Erica, 35 female, and Mike, 30 male. Both kids are married, but Erica and her husband, Steve, live nearby to us, and this issue concerns them. They work full-time, have 2 kids. 5 years ago, my daughter asked my husband and me if we would be willing to become their full-time childcare, so she could continue to work and afford their comfortable life. We agreed, but we did not discuss much more than watching the baby and their expectations. I was a teacher and retired 2 years before I could take my pension, so my husband continued to work, and we made a few sacrifices like vacations, adding to our savings, but we were able to make it work, so I could take my full pension at 55, and my husband retired a year later. Our arrangement worked and we enjoyed having the kids, except by year 3. Around the year 2020, we started to feel like they were taking advantage of our help. In 2020, during the lockdown, they were both working from home. They expected us to keep the kids all day, and we wanted to split time weeks since their preschool/daycare was closed. We settled on 2 with them and 3 with us, and my sister-in-law complained about it pretty much every day. Things got better when the kids were able to go to school. Fast forward to 4 years, 2021. We have a bit of a blow-up over kindergarten. My daughter did not want 5-year-old to start school in the unknown, but I insisted he needed to go because I needed the break. I also asked for 4-year-old female to spend more time at preschool and daycare. Sister-in-law complained about the cost, but I pushed anyway. They relented, and then this past spring, sister-in-law pushed us to take the kids for a week so they could go on a vacation. We said they had to take the kids, and he said, quote, "Oh, they could not afford it." So no one went on vacation. Maybe that's too much background, but I feel like the context is important for what I said. My daughter and I were casually having a conversation the other day, and she mentioned she had an OBGYN appointment and some tests. I asked if everything was okay, and she said Steve and her were trying for baby number 3. I asked her what her childcare plan was, and she looked at me like I was crazy and said, you guys? I said that it would have been nice if she told me this before trying for another baby. She said it's none of my business, and I said it is if I'm providing 5 more years of babysitting. Then told her that we're not a viable childcare option for a new baby, and begged her to reconsider. The 4-year-old female's going to kindergarten, and we feel like we're getting our days back, to some extent, and refuse to start all over again with an infant. Erica said we're making her choose between her dream of 3 children and financial stability. I argued that she has 2 beautiful children and they're financially stable. They should not ruin that with another baby. Yeah, I might be the a-hole because Erica feels like we should have told her sooner. I feel like I'm not because I never agreed to a lifetime of raising her kids. Alright, so here's the update. My daughter came to pick up the kids this evening, and I asked her if we could talk. We were both much calmer this time, and I explained my point of view on another baby and feeling blindsided by her declaration of baby number 3. She said she mentioned wanting 3 after she got married, but I don't recall that conversation. Our talk was productive, and she shared that she's the one pushing for another, while her husband does not love the idea, but isn't completely against it. She confessed that she doubts she'll still have him on board if he found out that they would be paying for childcare this time around. Her husband grew up on the poorer side of the family and budgets for everything. He worries about losing his job, why he complained about the kids being around during COVID and letting his kids down. I sympathize more with them now that she shared this side of their marriage with me. She admitted that I was probably right about another baby, and she's going to talk to Steve tonight about moving forward with this plan, but with the caveat that the baby would be in a full-time daycare, with my husband and me helping only in emergencies. We were able to discuss our current situation. I expressed that I feel unappreciated given everything I've done for her and her family, and she shared that she's jealous that she can't be with them instead. I felt for her as a working mom myself, except I had my summers with my kids, and she said she would talk to Steve about enrolling the children in before and after care program coming up in September, and we would take them as we usually do, but we can also send them to the program when needed. Oh yeah, I also made sure I gave my grandkids an extra tight hug today. After watching what happened in Texas, it makes my feelings very trivial. Okay guys, that was an intense story. Let's turn our attention to a couple comments, and it seems the overwhelming amount of people are saying not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Red flags should have been raised when they wanted to go on a holiday without their children. At this age, parenting is not something you take a break from, especially at 4 or 5 years old. They sound very unprepared to be parents at all, let alone for 3 children. Then another commenter had something similar to say. They wanted to leave their kids for a week when their grandparents already have the kids every day full time. Why would the parents expect a break but not want the grandparents to have one? That's a very good point. Let me know your opinion on this story. Drop it down in the comment section. And our next story of the day is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to go to my brother's wedding? If my son can't go. This is a very unique story. It has a very strange topic. Let's go ahead and get right in it. But first, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please take a second right now to press the subscribe button right about here. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Here's the next story. Some backstory. My brother, 30 male, soon-to-be wife Tara, 26 female, went to the same high school as me. She was 1 grade below me, but we all knew each other. I'm 27 male, have a 5-year-old son with an ex-girlfriend, who also went to school with us. My ex and my brother's girlfriend hated each other. They were on the same drill team, and I don't know, we're just jealous of each other. It was some old BS petty high school drama. Then I guess it got bad because they were both crushing on the same guy, and he got with my ex after he rejected Tara. I got with my ex in college. It was a brief thing, and we broke up right before my son Jason was born. He's with me full time, and my ex is the pitcher sometimes, but not that much. I found out over a year ago my brother was in a relationship with Tara, and now they're engaged, going to get married in November. I haven't been around Tara much because, well, I'm busy with my own life. When invitations went out, my brother called me. He said Tara did not like Jason being there at their wedding. They've never even met before. Well, the thing is, he's the son of my ex. She just doesn't like the idea of her sworn enemy's son being at her wedding. I did not think he was serious because that was all years ago. And we're, adults now. My ex isn't even in our lives, so it's not like she'll be there. I kind of got mad at my brother that he'd be cool with his own nephew not being at his wedding. All my other siblings are bringing their kids. My brother pleaded me to go along with this because he wants her to be happy on their special day. So I said, you know what, fine. But if my son's not allowed at the wedding, I won't be going either. Now my brother's the one mad at me for turning this into a big deal because he wants his family there. But he's caught between a rock and a hard place. My parents agreed she's being ridiculous and are berating my brother. My other siblings think I should have just agreed and not turned this whole thing into some drama. So I'm on the fence here. How do I handle things? If it was no kid wedding, then I'd get that. And yeah, it is their special day. But my son is the only one not allowed to be there, and I don't feel right with excluding him over something childish that was a decade ago. Am I the a-hole? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. So my opinion on this one is not the a-hole, but let's go ahead and read a couple comments and talk about it. Not the a-hole. If it was a no kids event, then I would say no big deal. But since kids are allowed, the bride is being the a-hole. Bridezilla. It's not your son's fault that the bride has something against his mother. Good on you for standing up for your son. I know this might be a slippery slope, but if you allow it for the wedding, what else is going to be included from your son? Just doesn't make much sense on her end. OP actually replied to that comment and said this: I don't get what the big deal is either, or why she'd hung up on me or something that happened when we were teenagers. Especially when my son has absolutely nothing to do with it. Guys, told you this was a unique story. Let me know your thoughts about it, drop it down below, and we're going to look at the final story of the day. Am I the a-hole for standing firm? Lack of hygiene? Choosing a cat over boyfriend? Guys, this one's so funny. Here we go. First things first. I, 24 female, have been dating Kyle for 2 months now. He started to spend the night. Kyle never grew up with pets, so my cat's been an adjustment to him. In his own words, my cat Crumb, who's 4, is the most important aspect in my life right now. Like most cat parents, he rules the household. We're very close since I found him abandoned on the side of the road as a 3-month-old kitten and nursed him back to good health. Crumb is very docile, but hasn't shown any attention or affection or really interest in Kyle. I don't force it. Crumb does as Crumb does. Lately, Kyle's been complaining about Crumb. I guess he walked into the bathroom to see Crumb rubbing his face against my toothbrush. I have one of those electric ones that stand, and he was shocked and told me how disgusting it was. I laughed and said, yeah, that's not great. He demanded I get a new toothbrush, which is expensive, but I said no. I just put the brush in the drawer. Next, Kyle says he does not like my nightly routine with Crumb. I give Crumb a kiss on the head, stomach, and then face before he goes to sleep. He sleeps on my bedside table in a cat bed. If I don't do this routine, he lays on me until I do. I know that's annoying, but that's how it is anyways, and I love it. Well, Kyle says I'm unhygienic because of this. He says Crumb is dirty. He is an inside cat, and I brush him every day. And even letting him sleep in the bedroom is gross and gets fur everywhere. It doesn't, but Kyle isn't even allergic, so... I told him that I put the toothbrush away, but he told me that I took it as a joke and did not punish Crumb. I tried to explain you can't punish a cat, nor would I want to in this scenario, but he wouldn't hear it. He then went on to say that me kissing Crumb is disgusting, especially in his face, and he would never kiss me if I kissed Crumb again. He asked me to put Crumb outside the room when he's over, or lock him in a crate. So, I said goodbye. Not only is Crumb 10,000 times more important to me, but I laughed in Kyle's face about never kissing my cat again or keeping him locked up. This, though, is where I may be the a-hole. Kyle told me that I was ruining our future and how I am laughing at his concerns. I felt guilty, so I asked a group of my friends and they were split. The pet owners laughed and non-pet owners said I am in the wrong for not making Kyle feel more comfortable. They said that Kyle was not asking me to get rid of Crumb, just compromise with him. They said I was being kind of gross and understand his concerns. What's up, guys? Mr. Reddito here. Let me know what you're thinking about this story. Don't worry, it does not end here. There's a complete update. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Here's the update. First, I wanted to thank everyone who took time to respond, upvote, award, DM me, etc. I was inundated with responses and really got great feedback from all over the spectrum. It was decided that I was not the a-hole, but there was tons of not the a-hole answers. I took every comment to heart, even Toothbrush Gate. Convo with Kyle went as this. I wanted to talk because I wanted to hear his reasoning or give a clean break. Honestly, it was a relatively normal, boring conversation. At first. He apologized for giving me an ultimatum and said that he was just frustrated and would never want to hurt Crumb. I apologized for laughing at him and making him feel as though his feelings weren't valid. He said that the quote pet thing was new to him and he wants to work at bonding. I asked what he meant by punish or crate. He said that by punish he meant spray with water, and he did not realize cats aren't crate animals. He tried to compromise and say kissing Cat's head was gross, but if I brushed my teeth or washed my face after, he would kiss me. The comments I received mostly was Kyle and I are just incompatible. So I said that, quote, although I appreciate his apology and trying to compromise, I don't think in the future it's going to work. Kyle tried to backpedal a bit and say he can learn to be more flexible, but I kinda got a weird feeling. I said it's not fair to either of us to compromise on our comfort. I restated that Crumb's not a negotiation. He rolled his eyes and asked if I was choosing Crumb over him. He then asked if I was, quote, seriously breaking up with him over a stupid animal. This shocked me, because it was a total 180% turn from the previous 15 minutes ago. He said he felt rejected by Crumb and felt if he rejected him first, it would make them, I don't know, even? I said that was concerning because Crumb's a cat. He asked how I would feel if he kept kissing animals that weren't me. I said I wouldn't care because they were animals and not a threat. He said I was dense, and if I clearly did not care about this boundary of kissing animals, who is to say that I would not kiss everyone? This especially hurt because I've previously told him about the stigma of being bisexual, and how everyone assumes we cheat and are promiscuous. I asked if he was jealous of Crumb. He scoffed, said, quote, you're right, this could never work because you'll be a crazy cat lady with no boundaries or hygiene. Then he said, enjoy being alone forever, and hung up the phone. Going forward, I'll make sure to explain my relationship with my cat to my future partners. I need to be with someone that loves animals, or at least does not feel threatened by them. Like a lot of you said, I should be with someone that loves both me and Crumb. To answer one of the most asked questions, I sanitized the toothbrush. I'll be getting a new head soon. Thanks to my friend, I also got a cap for it. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. If you're interested in future updates, let me know in the comment section. Alright, so I totally agree with OP of this story, but the one thing that made me cringe was the fact with the toothbrush thing. I mean, I love cats too, but I would have to change that toothbrush head out immediately. Let's read one of the comments. Okay, absolutely adorable. My partner and I kiss our cat on her sweet little head all the time. I'd seriously feel deprived if I could never do that again. Crumb is a gorgeous little boy and definitely deserves that sort of affection. And for the record, healthy, happy cats who can't take care of themselves are very clean. I'm an animal person in general and have had both cats and dogs. I kiss them all over their little noggins. In my opinion, not the a-hole. Alright guys, so let's talk about this one. And also, drop in the comment section, let me know about your pet. cat, dog, fish, turtle? I want to hear about it. That's all the stories I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Mr. Reddito is here every single day. Stop by, listen to a couple stories, drop your comments down below. We have a great time here, guys. I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good one.